Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play Banks of the Ohio. Banks of the Ohio is an old murder ballad from the 19th century. Murder ballads were something that were very common and popular in England in past centuries, and they were eagerly picked up as an idea in America and made very popular country songs. So this is probably one of the simplest tunes there is, but I have this strong held idea that no tune is too simple, and that the only limits to what you can do with a tune are the limits on your imagination and technique. So I'm going to show you the very basic version, and then I'm just going to show you a series of ideas that you can do to add to this. And I could probably talk for an hour on this tune and how you can develop it. What I'm not going to do is to give you an absolute beginner's version with all the fingering and everything. If anyone requests this, I'll do one of those on my Patreon page, because there are some beginners things on there. Okay, so we have a little intro, which is and that is a typical Hank Williams type intro, the 4 bars at the end of the chorus or the verse. I wouldn't say that that is a traditional intro, because old songs like that didn't really have intros, but so that's our intro. I'll do it again. Here we go. Okay, so that's your basic melody. It sounds like not very much played like that, but as I say, there's loads you can do with it. The first thing I would say is to add some drones and simple double stops. So I think for the intro, I would add an E under the C, and then a D drone under the G. And then either a G drone under that G or a B under there. And then a nice D drone under there, a D drone under that note, put an E under that C note, a D drone, E drone, D drone, and then either again a bottom G or a B. So I'll play it through twice, first time with no drones and second time with those drones. The drones. And notice how much more country it sounds with those drones. One thing I very often do at the beginning of a new chord where I'm doing a drone is to slide the melody note up. Either the melody note, or in fact in this case it's the drone that I'm sliding. And it's really effective to do that because it starts off as a kind of a discord, but you can see that it's aiming towards something that is perfectly in harmony. Okay, a very simple thing but very effective to do with a simple melody like this is hammer-ons, where you precede the melody note with the next note down in the scale. The term hammer-ons is not, I've never heard it used in country fiddle circles, but it is a very effective thing. And if you listen to Bob Wills's personal style of fiddle playing, you'll hear that he does loads of these, and lots of people copy that specific style that he has, which includes those hammer-ons. There's also lots of room for fills, so there's a lot of spaces where there's not much happening. Here, for example, where you can put a little fill in, just some little lick, just 2 or 3 notes. Now that's a special one because we're going from a G to a G7, which has got an F note in it. So I'm just emphasizing that with a lick descending down to the 7th of the G. And then the perfect place for a little lick is right at the end. That kind of lick, which a descending lick. Okay, let me just play once or twice again, and I'll add the hammer-ons and the fills this time. Now, a song like this is perfect for the major blues scale. So the blue notes are the flattened thirds of the key. So the key is G, that's the third. So 1, 2, 3. The flattened third is a B flat. I've got a video about the major blues scale which you might find helpful if you're not familiar with that. So I'll do a couple of times around. The first time I'll just do a few fills using the blue note, and the second time I'll do a bit of a solo using the major blues scale. question people often ask, can you use the same scale or should you use 3 different scales for 3 different chords? And the answer is both. So there I played only the G major blues scale, but what I could have done also is the D major scale and the C major blues scale. So you have the choice depending on what you feel is appropriate, how long you have on that particular chord, how much emphasis you want to give to it, how lazy you want to be, as to whether you change scales. So I'll do it once more, and this time I will use 3 different blues scales. And I think there's a danger of being a bit too clever when you take that approach. I think country music and blues and indeed bluegrass, they want this kind of chordal simplicity, which by following every chord in that way is sometimes too much. Not always, but I think maybe the single scale is maybe the better approach in this case. Another thing you can do is to do shuffles, and I've got lots of videos about shuffles. The Nashville shuffle, the Georgia shuffle, which give a slightly different rhythm, and even the double shuffle. So I'm just going to, I'll do it first of all where I will just do a kind of a backing part using shuffles, and then the second time round I'll do a solo using shuffles. And I've just done a video on my Patreon page which shows how you can use the Nashville Shuffle in particular and extend it into solos and into melodies that where it doesn't have an obvious place. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. I've shown, I think, that what seemed like a tune that you could learn in minutes could easily consume many hours of your day and many weeks and possibly months. And we've only really started on it. So yes, there's endless stuff you can do even with the simplest tune. If you'd like a copy of the sheet music for the basic tune, do subscribe to the channel, send me an email, and I will send you a free copy. And all of my PDFs are available on my Patreon page, and it's the Patreon that keeps these videos continuously coming. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.